Down to the final two races of night number 8 at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. It's the Pro Trucks, and what a field of Pro Trucks. They came out in big numbers tonight for a 50-lap feature event. Some familiar faces, some familiar trucks that we've seen in the past during World Series. I don't believe they were here for the World Series last year. They did run a couple of years ago. And throughout the years, the Pro Trucks had been a division that ran a couple of events a week here at New Smyrna Speedway for the World Series. As see them rolling around the racetrack, getting ready tonight for a 50-lap feature event.
27 trucks, we believe by our count, from qualifying. As you see them circling the racetrack, and they will be ready to do battle for 50 laps. And things could get interesting. Pro Trucks always add an element to every race, to every program. I think everybody's heard of the Pro Truck race that happened at the Snowball Derby a few years ago. It went on until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully we don't see that this evening. Like good, nice, clean, and green racing for these Pro Truck drivers as they circle the beautiful pace car here at New Smyrna Speedway. Still a great crowd on hand here, and it's been a great night of racing, and after this we're still not done. The Ground Pounder is going to come out for a 25-lap race. First time we'll see them here in action for the 2019 World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. As the field continues to circle the racetrack, it's going to get interesting with these Pro Trucks.
Taking a look at our starting lineup, Casey, we've got Jason Lester in the 7 on the pole, Rich Klauser in the second spot, driving the number 9, Derek Pugh in the 3, and the third starting spot, Mickey Thomas starting 4.
Donnie Burkhalter in 5th. 6th will be Cody Haskins in the 38 machine. Then it'll be Becca Monopoly in 7th, and 8th is John Heel.
Darrell Rudd in the 56, starting in the 9th position. Todd Brown starting 10th, starting 11th. Jimmy Jackson starting 12th. Adam Briggs.
Mike Kohut in 13th. Colt Hensley in 14th. 15th is Shea Montgomery. 16th is Lucas Leone.
In the 17th starting position, the 54W of Michael Whipple. Brennan Holmes in the 57 starts 18th. Rusty Davis in the 9 starts 19th, and starting 20th is Todd Haig.
21st will be Michael Foy. 22nd, Jeffrey White. The 05 of Jamie Sullivan in 23rd. 24th is James Whitten. Then rounding out the field will be Colt Cecil. Following him will be Todd Anglani and Nick Hagg.
50 laps the distance tonight in the Pro Trucks from the World Series. Ground Pounders, a 25-lap event coming up as well to finish out our night of racing. Of course, we have one final night left to go, 9th night of the week coming up tomorrow. Super late model 100-lapper, going to be the big one.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great fight to the end as the championship battle certainly closed up after last night. Brad May, a little bit of not real controversy, but just more question after the race. He was ended up awarded with last place points. They did not give him. He finished 18th in his backup car, but since he technically started the race in his primary and finished last with it, that's the points he was awarded with. And that, I believe, gave Bubba Pollard the point lead going into the final race of the week.
It will, but it'll be 100 laps, and anything can happen in those events. We saw a champion pick up a victory as well tonight in the 100-lapper for the Pro Late Models when Sammy Smith found victory lane and claimed the championship. Hosfeld wasn't able to do the same in the Tour Type Modifieds. Those two divisions are done for the week. At 38 of Haskins won all 3 truck races back in 2012 when he was here at the World Series.
Haskins always strong in that 38 machine. Anytime he shows up to any racetrack, really. And it's going to be a tough one to deal with. He's been fast all day long and was your fastest qualifier after the invert of 6. That puts him obviously in the 6th position.
Field getting ready to come off of turn 4 to see the 1 to go signal. There it is. Next time around, the field will go green. 50 laps. As the field of trucks doubles up. These things can be a handful. They don't handle like the super late models do. They don't handle like the Tour type modifieds. They can be on edge, though they aren't turning as quick as speeds. They are a handful through the corners, and we'll see them on the free side, sliding all around this racetrack by the end of 50 laps. The 7 of Leicester, the 8 of Clouser come across the line. Green flag is out.
Into turn number 1, it's a drag race between Clouser and Leicester. On the outside, Rich Clouser has the advantage, but battling back on the inside is Jason Leicester.
Leicester, nice wrap on that number 7 truck. Got Scooby-Doo on the side. I'm sure the kids love it. The 8 on the outside lane, Clouser. Clouser, a long-time competitor in trucks, super late models, and more. As now we've got the 24 off the pace. 24, Burkhalter off the pace, one of the favorites tonight. Fast qualifier with issues early on. He'll stay green.
He's going to drop down to the pit area. And they're going to approach that car, figure out what the issue is. But out front is Rich Clouser. Jason Leicester, no relation to Bill, in second.
There is the 7 of Leicester. Leading the 3 of Pugh, who's in third. Thomas in fourth. Haskins in fifth in the 38. As we watch the battle for second. Leicester trying to hold off Derek Pugh.
Pugh to the inside. He makes the move inside of Leicester. Leicester running them tight. Off turn number 4, they make contact.
Heading into the first corner. On the inside, the 3 truck trying to pull alongside the 7. Second, third, fourth, and fifth in a battle right now as the leader. Not a big surprise there. The 8 of Clouser has pulled out front and trying to get away from these trucks. You can see him sliding all over the asphalt.
Side by side, 2 rows deep. The 2 highlighter colored numbers. And the 38 of Haskins, the 44 of Thomas. They battle it side by side, and just ahead of them, Pugh holding down the third position.
Haskins moving forward in the 38 truck, looking to the inside of Pugh. They've singled out a little bit up there. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth now nose to tail, working slower traffic as well as the 41 of Jeffrey White moves over to the low side. Pugh setting up another run. The truck on the move is Haskins. Not a big surprise there. He's been very good in his truck in World Series appearances. Haskins in the 38 giving it a whirl.
Side by side once again for the second spot. Leicester holding them tight. Pugh gonna muscle his way through to the second position. Leicester now back to third. Haskins gonna make a move to the inside into 3.
Haskins looking in there. Sideways is the 7 of Leicester. Haskins doesn't care. Pulls up to the inside. Nearly goes wheel to wheels. We head to turn 1 at the conclusion of lap 8.
The 7 gonna show how happy he is with that 38 of Haskins. And honestly, it's the 7's fault of Leicester. He tried to close the door when the 38 of Haskins was already in there.
And now the 44 taking a look to the bottom side of the racetrack. Mickey Thomas, who was one of our top qualifiers. The invert was a 6, and we already saw our fast qualifier who started 6, Donnie Burkhalter, have problems and have to take his truck to the pits. Right now you're watching as the 7 of Leicester in the 4th spot. He has Thomas behind him and the 59 truck joining us on TV. Becca Monopoly. Talented truck driver, numerous championships, and trying to win here at the World Series.
Yeah, very decorated driver in the Pro Trucks is that 59X of Becca Monopoly as they work around the lap traffic of Colt Cecil. And the 55 machine as well going a lap down.
Monopoly, a 3-time Larry Moyer Memorial winner at Showtime. Numerous championships, as we mentioned, as we watch the 44 run to the bottom side of the racetrack. Mickey Thomas, there's the leader, but the leader has company. The 8 out front. Rich Clouser has Derek Pugh right behind him for the top spot.
It's almost like junior versus senior. You got the 8 versus the number 3, except it is Clouser in the 8 machine, and Pugh in second. Pugh is run them down and going to start contending for this top spot. Going to be lap 13 up on the board.
Klauser, a couple of championships at the World Series, won the 2002 Sportsman Championship, also won the 2004 Limited Late Model Championship here at the World Series, and a long-time veteran driver getting a chance to race tonight here at the World Series. And following closely is Pugh in the 3. Pugh ran him down quickly after moving up to second, and here's Monopoly making her move.
Tell you what, Cody Haskins also ran him down. He just ran his fastest lap of the race as well, but Monopoly pulls back in line, couldn't get the run on Mickey Thomas in that 44 truck.
Beautiful number 59 truck. Some really good looking rides we see in this 50-lap race tonight. 14 laps in, working traffic as the 54 moves to the bottom of the racetrack. Couple 54s tonight. Todd Hagen, one of them. 54W, Michael Whipple. That was Haig, I believe, going down a lap as the 05 also moves over to the bottom of the racetrack. That's Jamie Sullivan.
Nice paint jobs on those 54 trucks as well. But there is your top 3. Haskins, I believe, is the fastest truck out of this trio, but a good bit of lap traffic they're starting to deal with. They're moving down and out of the way, trying to be no problems to our leaders.
So far, so good. 9 laps away from the halfway mark of our Pro Truck 50 tonight. Handful of divisions in action coming up on your Saturday evening here. It's going to be fun. One more night of action during the World Series. And Haskins, his truck's so good, he actually thought about going to the second lane.
Pugh has been sideways off of about every corner, but it doesn't matter. He's fast. He moves to the inside of the 8 machine. Klauser battle for the lead. Here comes the 3 truck of Derek Pugh.
Derek Pugh, wheel to wheel, pulls ahead. Side by side across the line. New leader, the 3 of Derek Pugh.
Pugh moves through to the lead. That one's hard to say if you try to say it too fast. Haskins now going to move to the inside of Klauser. Klauser going to back off early into turn 3. Haskins now holds down the second spot. Derek Pugh going to lead here on lap number 19.
Haskins coming from the 6th starting position, where he was in that row, the fast qualifiers, he and Burkhalter. We watch back now to the number 7 of Lester. Was up front early on in this race. Lester then fell back deep in the top 5, running in the 4th position. Mickey Thomas behind him in the 44. Monopoly still trying to make the move.
Yeah, that's 4th, 5th, and 6th on your screen, as Becca Monopoly still trying to work around that 44 machine. As look at the melee that the leaders are in. A lot of lap traffic just ahead of them. They're going to work around the 57 of Bray Holmes.
Bray Holmes moves over. 53 is there now. Nick Haig, 17th in the rundown. And so is the 14 of Adam
Look at
Briggs.
Haskins.
Oh, a little bit of contact to the tailgate there. Gets to the inside, heading down into the turn. Haskins makes the bold move and takes the lead. Coming to the line, working through traffic. 22 laps complete, 28 to go. New leader, Cody Haskins.
Haskins, what a good move. Just went right around Pugh and took that top spot away into turn number 3. And now Haskins going to begin to open up his lead over the 3 truck of Derek Pugh.
Cody Haskins, a Marietta, Georgia driver, a 2012 World Series Pro Truck champion, as we mentioned, and dominated that week, winning all 3 events. You look back as the 7 of Lester holds off the 44 of Thomas and the 59 of Monopoly. A lot of trucks on the racetrack at the start of this race. Some 26 trucks were on the track.
Yeah, some of them has began to fall off, though. Some started dropping like flies as soon as we got the green flag, but nevertheless, good battling up front as Lester dirt tracking it off turn number 2. That allows the 44 of Mickey Thomas and Becca Monopoly to reel them in just a bit.
Unofficially, still 22 trucks on the racetrack of the 26 that started the event. Watching as we are nose to tail coming down the front stretch at halfway. 25 in. 25 laps to go in the Pro Truck feature tonight.
Look at the hustle that the 7 of Jason Lester has to do on the exit of the corner, and see the rotor starting to glow on the 44 of Thomas as he's reeled in this 7. They work around lap traffic. Lester has been driving a a dirt truck, really, around New Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah,
Whoa, speaking of dirt truck.
That 44 got down on the flat and worked it sideways through the corner, Mickey Thomas. And as this race wears on, especially if we stay green, it's going to get more and more. They're going to burn those rear tires off, and they're going to be sliding all over the place.
Beckham Monopoly has really seemed like your car is straight in, straight out, pretty solid, as watching everybody else really fighting the wheel. Her car may come alive here in the second half of this race, but problem on the front straightaway.
05 of Jamie Sullivan has gone around. As Sullivan spins, and that pink, white, and black 05 car will get moving again, and our first yellow doesn't come out until lap 28 with 22 laps to go. One of the ladies in our field tonight. Beckham Monopoly, the other, running up in the top 5, 5th position. Pretty exciting racing early on in this Pro Truck feature.
Things are going to heat up here in the second half of this race, where I think this is about the time where Pro Trucks start doing Pro Truck things.
So we're waiting for the 05 of Sullivan to pull away from the front straightaway. A few drivers electing to come down pit road and make pit stops. And most of those are ones that obviously have some handling issues as the setup goes away. And there's Sullivan getting it refired and pulling away.
You can still see how damp it is down there on the grass. Haven't had rain in the past couple of days, but
it rained a lot.
Yes.
In a 2-day period. Of course, it rained Saturday and Sunday, and then rained a little bit more on Tuesday. Had some overnight rains Tuesday night into Wednesday then. So we've had our share of rain this week, so it looks like we're going to go 7 for 9 and get 7 out of the 9 events in, which I thought coming into it we might be lucky to get 5 in. So we have been fortunate second half of this week really clearing up, but definitely frustrating last weekend when we went 1 for our first 3.
There's our nightly buggy shot. Got to get at least, I think, maybe 10 minutes at least of the buggy per show.
I think you got shoved to pit road after the last race, but they've got it working again.
We got her tuned back up.
Knew they were going to need it here to come out and check the track for this Pro Truck 50-lapper.
Maybe they have the same fuel tank in it as Travis Eddy. It just runs out of gas slightly short before the show's over.
That happened a night or two ago, yes. Could be. Florida Modified, you mentioned Travis Eddy. They'll be back in action tomorrow night as part of our final night at the World Series. Take a look at our schedule of events for our Saturday night here at the racetrack. The Orange Blossom Super Late Model 100 will get us going tomorrow night. The American Auto Sportsman 35-lapper then will run. Florida Modifieds back with us after a night off. Super Stocks will be here for the first time this week, and the Pro Trucks will end the World Series with a 50-lapper to end our evening tomorrow night.
Field still circling the racetrack. I think they're checking for fluid. We saw our famous buggy and its pilot rubbing his hand across the racetrack, making sure it's still dry. No sort of substance on the racetrack, no tranny fluid or engine oil or anything like that on the racetrack.
Back off the track, that's always a good sign. You have the eyes of an eagle right there to check it out. And that actually is a different buggy. That's got the red number 9 on the window, not the blue number 9.
I think we ought to just, at the end of the night, just race the buggies. We'll call the action.
Let's do it. Casey LeJoy and Adam Mackey tonight on fanschoice.tv. It's been a pleasure bringing you action all week long with one more night of action left to go after tonight as the 57 of Bray Holmes pulls from the pit stall. Nice looking race truck. It's back out on the track. Haskins leads the way. Pugh is in second. Clauser is third. Lester fourth. And Thomas fifth. Monopoly, we will restart in the 6th spot.
The more I say Derek Pugh, the more I like saying it. Pugh.
I get it. Fun name. Cody Haskins, though, sounds like a racing name.
It does. There was a driver I once knew as His name was Jet Hayes, and that's about
as good as it gets.
Yeah, Jet Hayes or Will Power. That's a good one.
That is a good racing name. 38. Your leader, got a dirt car driver in the Illinois area. His dad used to race. His name, Race McMahon. That's a pretty good racing name. Can't get much better than that.
I don't know. I just got one. Bub McCool.
Bub McCool?
Yeah, used to race with the World of Outlaws.
Racing name. It's good.
It's a pretty cool name.
That it is. 23 from the finish. 27 laps complete as we finish up the track conditions. They look to be ready to go. The lineup in order of the way they need to be, which means we'll give the 1 to go signal, and double file will make you smile. As we are in the second half of this Pro Truck feature tonight, Haskins in the 38, Pugh in the number 3, Klauser in the 8, Lester in the 7. All of the names you thought you would see at the front of tonight's Pro Truck feature, and they're there, ready to battle it out, coming down the stretch. 23 laps to go. Haskins in the starting box.
Good jump for the 38 machine. He will take that top spot back over Derek Pugh. Pugh in second, side by side behind him between Lester and the 8 of Klauser.
Watching back in the field, some of the trucks battling for positions. Gets a little hairy at times. Tail end of the top 10. Side by side, we cross the line. 22 laps to go. See a truck dropping to the bottom of the track. That's Lester making a run at Klauser. Klauser was very good early in this race, and now Pugh nearly spun it. Going to allow Klauser, Lester, and Monopoly to get to the outside. The tires going away on that 3 truck. Look at him working the wheel through the corners.
Pugh sideways still trying to gather that machine. The 3 of Derek Pugh dropped from second all the way back to 5th just in 1 lap.
7 of Lester working the wheel. I think at this point all of the drivers are working the wheel pretty hard. The one that may not be working it as hard as the others is Haskins, because his truck's handling is a little bit better at this stage of the race with 20 laps to go.
There on your screen, the 7 of Jason Lester, still with Mega Monopoly all over the back bumper. These guys are dirt tracking it around here. Still is the 3 of Pugh and these guys.
Yeah, and Pugh, right as you saw him get sideways, backed off and slowed, and he's going to be calling it a night, I believe. As the 59 of Monopoly now will move up as she crosses the line. 4th position, Mickey Thomas running in 5th. John Heil running in 6th. Darrell Rudd, Jimmy Jackson, Mike Kohut, and Shea Montgomery completing the top 10. As there's Pugh pulling into his pit stall. Had really made a nice run, and at one point was up in the 2nd spot, but then started to fade after that last restart. 18 laps remain in tonight's Pro Truck 50.
Becca Monopoly still working on the back bumper. The 7 of Jason Lester. Lester doing a good job running about half a lane up while Becca Monopoly strolls the inside, rolls that yellow line, but still not enough to work around this 7 machine.
Hughes heading back out to the racetrack in the 3 truck after the crew goes to work on that machine. 7 of Lester really sideways, bringing it off the turn. Monopoly hasn't been able to take advantage yet. She will take a look to the inside. Lester will close the door. 16 laps remaining in this one as Haskins crosses the line.
Still remains single file. I think Monopoly just a touch faster than this 7 of Lester. Just can't quite get by. And I tell you who's faster than everybody tonight is this 38 of Cody Haskins. Hasn't done very much fighting once he's got to the lead.
No, and he wasn't patient getting to the front. He made some bold moves, took some chances, got him out front, and he's got a half straightaway advantage on Klauser, who's having a nice run.
And Klauser, 2.5, just over 1.7 seconds about of a gap between your 2 leaders. These 2 just can't seem to separate for 3rd, and once again, here comes the 3 of Derek Pugh back down pit road.
Derek Pugh, probably done now in the 3. Pulls into the infield, and now we look back again at our 3rd place truck, the 7 of Lester, 59 of Monopoly. 7 of Lester, a little bit quicker, I think, down the straightaway. Monopoly definitely has a better handle on that machine through the turns right now.
You got to wonder if patience will run out Becca seemed like she's been a little bit better. Gets a peek to the inside, but there's the 05 of Jamie Sullivan.
Sullivan ahead of third and fourth right there as they head into turn number 3. Monopoly gets a run to the bottom, gets it on the flat. Truck gets a little bit sideways with a slight bobble. 12 to go. We continue to watch third and fourth. That's because the leader, Cody Haskins, by himself. Klauser, the second place truck, by himself. Then it's Lester and Monopoly, third and fourth. Thomas running in fifth.
And with that lead hasn't really changed up too much as far as the distance. Klauser matching laps with Haskins, but I believe Haskins might be in ride mode. He doesn't really have anything to worry about. That time, Klauser closed it up by about 0.3, and this battle for third still going on.
Oh, Lester, look at him work that wheel coming off the corner. It's got to feel like driving a dirt car right now with what the driver of the 7 truck Lester's dealing with. They hit a little bit in 3 and 4. Lester and Monopoly going at it. A couple of black and green trucks for the number 3 position and a chance to make a podium finish and stop down by victory lane after this race.
Toe-to-toe down the back straightaway. Lester with the advantage into turn number 3. Becca Monopoly drives it hard into turn 3, grabs a little bit of the apron. They make contact out of turn 4. Drag race to the start-finish line, 8 laps to go.
She's being extremely nice, allowing the 7 of Lester plenty of room. If she just extend her entry a little bit further on the high side going into the turn, that would help her out. But she's being clean, running the bottom of the racetrack, and I think she will eventually clear and does the 7 of Lester. Good job by Monopoly to make the move. Moves up into the 3rd spot. She should be able to separate herself now from the 7.
And Becca Monopoly trying to get away, a little contact, but you saw Lester back out and let Monopoly gather that truck back up. Good move by both drivers, hanging on to their machines. Lester still not going to quit fighting for this 3rd spot.
It's also allowed the 44 of Mickey Thomas to close the gap. Thomas running in the 5th position as we have 7 laps remaining. Monopoly will now start to pull away from the 7. Really got it free through turn 2 that time. And here's the gap. The 38 of Haskins, the 8 of Klauser. Both talented race car drivers. And tonight they're in behind the wheel of these trucks with 6 laps to go.
After the past few laps, Haskins has really started to put some solid laps together. With 5 laps to go, there is a little bit of lap traffic up ahead he might have to worry about, but other than that, looks like clean sailing for this 38 machine.
Not clean sailing right now for Jason Lester because Mickey Thomas in the 44 car is right there, ready to make a move. Mickey Thomas, Dawsonville, Georgia driver, former competitor with the Georgia Asphalt Series. They head down the back straightaway. The 44 of Thomas, 7 of Lester. Lester just good enough right now to keep that 44 at bay and actually has settled in a little bit in that spot and kind of puts himself a couple of truck lengths in between the two.
It depends on who wants to hit the corner right. Person hits the corner right, usually pull away. Sometimes they'll miss it and get ate up by the person behind them as Haskins now begins to work on some lap traffic, and while Klauser's really fallen back almost 3 seconds as he was real close for the lead there just a minute ago.
Serendipity 38 heading through turns 3 and 4, coming to 2 laps to go. Haskins leading the way down to the final 2 paces. Clean race for the Pro Trucks tonight, but remember, they have a race tomorrow night to end the World Series. At the end of the night, they'll run a 50-lapper to finish off night number 9.
Haskins fought his way up to the lead, clawed his way to the top spot, and now he'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for the 38 car.
Or truck.
Or
the
truck.
38 of Haskins makes his way through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Cody Haskins heads off into turn 3. In 2012, he won all 3 Pro Truck races during the World Series. Tonight he wins the first of 2. He comes off of turn 4. Marietta, Georgia's Cody Haskins wins. 2nd spot, Rich Klauser. Becca Monopoly finishes 3rd. Good run for her. Lester takes 4th. Mickey Thomas finishes in 5th. You see some contact between a couple trucks at the finish as they cross the line under the checkered. And there's the winner, that 38 truck. You see one spun around in the corner coming to the last lap. The 46 truck had spun. We'll come across Jimmy Jackson in the number 46. Finishes as the final truck on the lead lap in 11th. Well, this truck was dominant tonight. Fastest in qualifying, had to start 6th because of the invert. Took him very little time to get to the front. Made some bold moves, some daring moves, some dangerous moves. And right around lap 21, Cody Haskins pulled out front and into the lead. Pro Trucks tomorrow night will race again, another 50-lapper. As they join us at the World Series for the first time in a couple years. They raced with us in 2017, but don't believe they were in action a year ago. We've seen a lot more of the local divisions and the local drivers here at the World Series in 2019. And the Pro Trucks put on a pretty good show tonight. He's ready to climb out and celebrate victory, and we'll send it down to Casey LaJoy.
Thank you, Adam. Cody Haskins has his safety equipment off and climbs out of his truck. Cody Haskins, your winner tonight. And Cody, it was a fight to get to the lead, but once you got there, this thing was hooked up.
Yes, sir. Kurt Britt's done a heck of a job putting this thing together. I want to thank them, Johnny's New York Pizza, Serendipity, KRC Power Steering. I want to say hey to Ken. He's owner of KRC. This win's for him. He's been in the hospital sick the past couple of weeks, so just want to dedicate this win to him.
Cody Haskins, your dominant winner in the Pro Trucks.
Great run for the 38 truck, and that's going to be the one to shoot for tomorrow night, as Haskins had no challengers there. Klauser finished second. Great run for the number 8 truck. Monopoly took a long time to get around that third-place truck of Lester, but she did and pulled away and even got away, steered out of some contact that took place as Monopoly in that 59 takes the third spot. We'll hear from both of those two momentarily as you take a look at the unofficial top 15 in tonight's event. Haskins followed by Klauser, Monopoly, Lester, and Thomas. You look at the rest of the top 15 with Rudd, Kohut, Hensley, Whipple, and Montgomery, the top 10. Jackson, Holmes, Leone, Foy, and Briggs rounding out the top 15. One final event yet to go tonight as well as the Ground Pounders will come back out. The cars and stars that we saw right before we went racing with the Tour Type Modifieds, they're lining up on pit road. You see them going by at the top of the screen. They're going to get a chance to race, I believe, a 25-lapper here at the end of the night. We've got a couple more drivers to talk to in the Pro Trucks. One of those is Rich Klauser, a veteran driver who brought it home in second place tonight, Casey.
Yeah, Rich Klauser, a solid second place, usually running your late model, had a solid showing here in the truck. What'd you need there? Haskins was so good.
We just needed a little bit more. It was turning good. We were handling good. I think he just outmotored us a little bit. Like I said, I seen him coming. Let him go by early, trying to save the stuff for the long run, banking on a caution, and we got that caution. I was able to get back by the 3. I just couldn't run with the 38. He was just way better than us tonight. It looked like, the two of us were the class of the field. I just need a little bit more to get him.
Good run tonight.
Thank you.
Rich Klauser, a second-place run for the number 8 truck. Good run once again. Third-place finisher was Becca Monopoly. She paced herself in getting up into that third spot, a numerous-time track champion and Pro Truck Series champion as well. And right now, Casey LaJoy stands by with Becca.
Hard-fought third place for Becca. You really fought with battling for that third spot. Run us through those last few laps.
Well, I knew I wanted to just try and catch him, beat him. I didn't expect him to drive me down and push me like that, but at least he let me save it. But got a little nervous with the lap truck at the end there. I thought she was going to make us split and not move, but, it was a good, hard-fought race.
Becca Monopoly, very decorated Pro Truck driver, finishes third.
Monopoly, give her a whirl again tomorrow night as we have finished up all but our final race, as there's the winner again, celebrating in victory lane. Cody Haskins, many-time winner in trucks, as well as here at the World Series, as he picks a lucky winner out of the bag here in victory lane. We're going to be back with the Ground Pounders. We'll have the action for you. I believe we'll have the voice of New Smyrna Speedway, Ryan Stevens, on the call. Stay with us on fanschoice.tv.